Hey there, let's talk about something your body does every single day that you probably have been ignoring, sending you SOS signals that it needs more nutrients. You know how your car dashboard lights up when something is wrong, right? Well, your body has its own dashboard, and today we are going to decode 9 physical signs that are basically your body's way of saying, hey, remember me? I need some actual nutrition down here. I'm Dr. Ergin. I'm an endocrinologist in Port St. Lucie, Florida. I deal with thyroid, diabetes, hormones, metabolism, insulin resistance, weight loss, you name it. Before we dive in though, let me be clear. I'm not here to diagnose anyone. These are educational observations that might warrant a conversation with your healthcare provider sometimes. So think of this as your body's user manual that somehow got lost in the junk drawer. Right? Sign number 1. Rigged or spoon-shaped nails. Let's start with something you probably look every day but never really see, which is your nails. If they have vertical ridges or are starting to curve inward like little spoons, your body might be telling you that it needs more iron or protein. So what is the science behind it? Nails are made of keratin, which is a protein. When you are low on iron or protein, nail formation gets messed up. Spoon nails happen when the nail bed becomes thin and the nail curves inward. It's like trying to build a house without enough materials. Not cool, right? Focus on complete proteins. That's what you need to do. Meat, fish, eggs. That will give you everything you need. If you're a vegetarian, you will need to mix different plant proteins throughout the day. And please get your iron tested before you start taking any supplement because too much iron can actually be harmful. Now, sign number 2, cracks at the corners of your mouth. Now, those annoying little cracks at the corner of your mouth that never seems to heal, this isn't just from dry weather. It's often a sign that you are low on B vitamins or iron. What is the science behind it? The corners of your mouth get a lot of wear and tear, talking, eating, that nervous lip licking, right? Most of us do. Now, B vitamins and iron can help these areas heal and stay healthy. When they are low, you get cracks that just won't go away. Now, what to do with that? Nutritional yeast is great for vegetarians. It tastes like cheese and it has tons of B vitamins. So if you eat meat, eggs, and sunflower seeds work as well. And yeah, liver keeps coming up because it really is packed with nutrients, even if it tastes like, well, yeah, liver. So, sign number 3, correct heels. Most of you have that, especially in my diabetics, I see that a lot. If your heels look like a dried up creek bed, you might need more vitamin B2. I know it sounds fancy, but it is just riboflavin, which is nothing too complicated. The science behind B2 is that it helps your cells make energy and keeps your skin healthy. When you don't have enough, your skin cannot repair itself properly, especially in areas that get rubbed a lot, like your heels, especially if you are walking around barefoot. What to do? Well, beef liver again. I promise I don't work for the liver industry here, but it is important. If you cannot stand liver though, I get it, then eggs, almonds, mushrooms are good sources for this. You only need about 1 milligram daily of B2, not much at all. Now, sign number 4, hair loss or thinning hair. So if your hair is falling out more than usual, vitamin D deficiency might be the problem. And I see that a lot in my clinic. People come to me thinking that they have a thyroid problem. Next thing I found out that their vitamin D is super low. And when I say super low, it may look normal to some people, like 20, 30. That's actually not normal. So you want to have around 60 to 80. So we have to get our facts straight sometimes. But if you look at the reference ranges, it's not going to tell you exactly what you need. And I'm not talking about like normal shedding like for the hair loss. I mean like noticeable thinning that can happen from vitamin D deficiency. Because hair follicles need vitamin D to work properly. When you don't have enough, they basically go to sleep pretty early and they stop making hair like they should. Now what to do? Well, here is where I need to basically slow down the original advice. Some people recommend really high doses of vitamin D, like 20, 30,000 units a day. But that's not something you should mess around with on your own. So I would say start with 2,000 to 4,000 units daily. get your blood levels checked and work with someone who knows what they're doing and who can actually monitor your levels. It is hard to become vitamin D toxic, but monitoring is always a good idea. Now, taking vitamin K2 with your vitamin D definitely work out better because they work together. Now, sign number 5, pale tongue and nails. Pull down your lower eyelids. Okay, look at that. Look in the mirror. If it is really pale instead of pink, or your nails look washed out, you might have anemia. This usually means you are low on iron. Iron carries oxygen in your blood, so when you don't have enough, your tissues do not get the oxygen. Simple enough, right? That's why everything looks pale. Now, what to do? Iron from meat is absorbed way better than iron from plants. That's a fact. If you're a vegetarian, you gotta eat iron-rich foods a lot, especially with vitamin C like spinach with lemon and so forth. Don't drink coffee or tea with your meals because they block the absorption of iron. Now, do not just start taking iron pills without getting tested first too. Again, too much iron can cause problems. The sign number 6, red burning tongue. If your tongue is red and it burns, especially when you eat like certain foods, you might be low on B12. This condition has a fancy name, glossitis, right? But it just means that your tongue is inflamed. Anything with itis, means inflammation. Now, the science behind that is that B12 help make new cells, and your tongue replaces its cells really fast. So when B12 is low, these cells cannot regenerate properly. So your tongue gets inflamed and burns. Now, what to do with that? Red meat and liver. Now, when I say red meat, you need to understand that I'm talking about grass-fed, grass-finished red meat. It's not your, cheap red meat that you find at Publix or a Walmart. Walmart is worse. Definitely, I'm not talking about that kind of meat. But liver actually probably has 5 times more vitamins. So if you're trying to get your vitamins in, then eating liver occasionally will be very helpful. And if you don't eat meat at all, you absolutely need to take B12 supplements. There's no way around it. B12 deficiency can cause permanent nerve damage. So don't mess around with this one because especially if you have diabetes, diabetic neuropathy is not going to be fun. Now, dry eyes. That's number 7. If your eyes always feel dry and you're constantly using eye drops, well, this could be vitamin A deficiency. Obviously, it could be diseases like Sjogren's syndrome and things like that, or tear duct problems. Seeing an eye doctor is always helpful. But vitamin A deficiency can be overlooked. It's more common than you would think. Now remember, vitamin A helps you see in dim light and keeps your eyes moist. Without enough, your tear production drops and your eyes feel like a sandpaper. Now what to do? Egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens and liver are the best sources. I know, like I said, liver isn't exactly appetizing, but it really is like nature's multivitamin. If you cannot stomach it, try liver capsules or, some other liver supplements. Now, number 8, bumpy arms. When I say bumpy arms, the back of the arms right here. If the back of your arms feel like rough and bumpy, like a sandpaper, this is often a sign that you need more omega-3s and vitamin A. It's called keratosis or keratosis pilaris, but most people just call it chicken skin. Now, the science behind that is that these bumps happen when a protein called keratin plugs up your hair follicles. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation in that area and helps with that bumps as well, and vitamin A helps regulate how your skin cells grow and shed. So what to get ahead of that? Cod liver oil gives you both omega-3s and vitamin A in one shot. There are a lot of good quality supplements out there. Start with 1 teaspoon daily. Now, heads up, some people cannot convert plant-based vitamin A very well. So if you are a vegetarian, this doesn't necessarily improve, then you might need a supplement. Number 9 sign is that white spots, right, on your nails. Those little white spots on your nails that you have been blaming on, maybe bumping your fingers, etc., they're usually a sign of zinc deficiency, not an injury. Why? Because zinc is involved in hundreds of processes in your body. Your nails are also constantly growing and need zinc to form properly. When zinc is low, you get these white spots. Now, what to do about that? Oysters have more zinc than anything else. Just a few give you way more than you need for the day. If you don't like oysters, personally I don't, Grass-fed beef and pumpkin seeds. Now, pumpkin seeds is my favorite, and hemp seeds are also a good option. You need about 8 to 11 milligram daily. Look, your body is pretty smart. It is constantly trying to tell you what it needs, but most of us never learned how to listen. We're too busy, right? Covering up symptoms, saying that, it'll get better, instead of figuring out what is actually wrong. Now, these signs are not just annoying, just tiny problems. They are your body's way of asking for help before things get really worse. The good news is that most of these can be fixed with better nutrition. Here is what you should do. Get tested first. Don't guess what you need. Although there are some common things that if you did take it, you wouldn't be harmed. But iron is something that you don't want to mess with necessarily, for example. And focus on food, not just pills. Your body knows how to use these nutrients from food way better than isolated supplements. And number 3, everyone is different. What works for your friend might not work for you. So your genetics, your stress level, your gut health, all of that matter. And number 4, be patient. You didn't get deficient overnight, and you won't fix it overnight either. Give it a few months to see some real changes after you make the changes in your lifestyle and your habits. Your body is doing the best it can with what you give it. Maybe it is time to give something better to work with, right? And which of these signs hit home for you? Let me know in the comments. I read all of them, and your experience might actually help someone else figure out what's going on, and it helps to give me ideas about what to talk about. And if this was helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more straightforward nutrition information, and share this with someone who might need to hear it. Remember, we are all trying to figure out this health stuff together. So, talk to you later. Thanks for watching.